What up, YouTube? How y'all been? A lot that happened over the last couple of days. But we're gonna talk about what happened with Takeoff. You know, we're not gonna get off into the fact that 14 people were shot and one killed in Chicago. One of the victims being a 3-year-old. 9 people were shot in Detroit. Another person was shot and killed in Highland Park today. But we're gonna talk about Takeoff in this industry. You know, you hear a lot about people talk about the culture. You know, the culture. At this time, it's obvious that what this generation of black people, and at this time, called culture, is a deaf culture. As you watch Kanye on stage and you think Kanye going crazy because he's saying things that's upsetting people, you know? And they showing the power that they have when they upset about words. But we as people, we can't even be upset about the murders that go on every day. The kidnapping of young kids, kidnapping of women. You know? We can't get mad and outraged about that because we don't have no power. See, a lot of y'all, when y'all hear people use words like Illuminati, secret societies, and things like that, you think it's not rooted in truth. But it's rooted in truth. And the streets are so connected to the industry that the industry need a body just as much as the street need a body. You know the term, the streets need a body. When you hear that music, the streets need a body. The streets need a body. And this type of music and these type of lyrics are entering your subconscious. And you young people, your mind hasn't fully developed yet. These become your ideas. This become your way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And the metaverse has more control and influence over your children and your youth than you do. Because you don't understand or you don't believe in what you're seeing right in front of you. You don't believe what you're seeing with Biden in the White House. You don't believe what you're seeing with the cost of gas, the cost of eggs. You don't believe in nothing that you see. You have cognitive dissonance. And all the time, the streets need a body. The internet is broke with the death of Takeoff. They all eating. His music is being streamed. They eating. Whoever had insurance on them, they eating. The label he signed with, they eating. All because one man died and the streets needed a body. Think about that. All these people immediately started eating and feeding on his death in that energy. They have his body displayed all over Twitter with his brains blowed out. Most disgraceful picture I've ever seen of a man murdered. They showed some people trying to help him and pick him up by his boots. Why would you pick somebody up by their boots and pick their legs up and they shot it? And clearly you see they shot in the head and neck. Why are you turning them upside down? On camera. That's on Twitter. See, in the metaverse, you see things immediately. Immediately. When I got up this morning at 6, they was already saying that Takeoff was dead. And allegedly Quavo got into a fight with somebody. And whoop-de-whoop. You know? But you remember, they never told you that King Von was alive when he went to the hospital. You know? A lot of these boys just done died over the last several months while we were going through this purge. Had real weird circumstances. So, don't be quick to give up on Kanye. You know what I mean? Because the people that run the industry and the people who are eating right now because of Takeoff's music streaming, his images to videos, they breaking the internet because of this man's death. But I want to play this news clip under YouTube guidelines, fair usage, commentary. I want to play this video. I want you to see what people said who knew Takeoff.
You already know Tudor Dixon would outlaw abortion.
No exceptions.
But Dixon's extreme ideas don't stop there.
Let's get
11 Alive News at 5 p.m. starts now.
One of the most influential groups of the past decade.
So man, you know we're #1 in the world right now, that way.
A mixtape launched Migos from Birkmar to the big time, with an influence beyond Instagram, rapping the anthem for Atlanta.
Bad and bullshit, bad, cooking up dope with a Uzi.
And bringing a community together. Now tributes for Takeoff as music mourns Migos' youngest member, shot dead in Houston at the age of 28. And just moments ago, police in Houston, Texas, begging witnesses to come forward, hoping to find the person or persons responsible for killing Migos rapper Takeoff.
So this is what we know so far. And investigators say about 40 people were outside of a downtown Houston bowling alley when a fight broke out. This happened overnight. By the time the police got there, the Grammy-nominated artist was dead and 2 other people were injured.
We have team coverage tonight, beginning with Ugochi Iloka with the very latest from Houston.
We're at the Green Street complex in downtown Houston, where the medical examiner was seen taking a body away. Houston police say both Quavo and Takeoff of the Atlanta-based rap trio were at a private party at 810 Billards and Bowling when shots were fired. Investigators say the deadly shooting happened on a balcony outside the bowling alley on the 3rd floor just after 2:30 a.m. this morning. A group of 40 people, we're told, were hanging out when someone started shooting. Investigators say people in the crowd ran, and a man was shot in the head or neck. That man sadly died, and 2 other victims, police say, were taken to nearby hospitals. A fan who took pictures with Takeoff after a performance at Bottled Blonde Houston this June shares his reaction to the devastating news.
Hurts, especially more because he performed at the House of Blues probably somewhat years ago. So it happened near a venue that he performed at. And also Toyota Center down the street is another spot that Migos performed at. So yeah, it definitely hurts.
It's so unfortunate. A witness told me off camera that arguing was heard before gunshots rang out. So far, no.
I'm going to stop right there for a minute because I want to say something. I'll elaborate with this. Now, in a minute, you're going to start to see the people who actually knew him, came in contact with him. Could you imagine that these people this morning woke up to Takeoff laying on the ground with his brains blew out? They got actual footage of him being shot in the back of the head. They got footage. They got footage of the goriness of it. You can't see that the metaverse that was created and controlled by Zuckerberg and those rich people that created these platforms. How you know that your whole life has not become a video game? Call of Duty. You might be living Call of Duty because your cognitive dissonance has you almost in matrix robotic form to where you can watch people being slaughtered and there's no outrage, and people are still trying to fight a gender war and gender politics when all this is going on. We can't even change the algorithm. Most people, they don't even consider that the algorithm is what's trending, and what's trending is what they seeing, and what they seeing is making them a part of all the activities. That's why people are so traumatized. You know, people love Takeoff. They say he was the most laid back one. He was the kindest one, the coolest one. He was the lamb to be sacrificed amongst all them wolves. Did you catch that? Let's watch some more of this. What are these people finna say about him?
Arrests have been made. I'm Ugochi Iloka reporting in Houston.
Our team coverage is going to continue tonight right here in Atlanta. Latasha Gibbons is live outside the Trap Museum. So Latasha, Takeoff and the Migos have had a huge impact on Atlanta.
They really have, Ron, and it is a very somber day here in Atlanta as so many people are mourning Takeoff's death. As you mentioned, we're live outside the Trap Museum, one of the places that celebrates hip-hop music, and one of the highlights inside is a tribute to Migos. And like the music he leaves behind, it's just a piece of Takeoff we'll have forever. It's devastating, it's sad. I'm tired of having to say rest in peace to young rappers. We woke up Tuesday to one less Migo.
And that was the first thing on my phone, and your phone's blowing up. It's the saddest thing in the world.
I'm so distraught and sad for us as a people.
Takeoff, whose real name is Kersnick Kari Ball, was shot and killed overnight in Houston at a bowling alley, according to officials.
It's another senseless case of violence. It's 2022, and 2022 already we've lost Snooty Wild, Archie, Trouble. These are all rappers who have lost their life due to gun violence, and now Takeoff.
Takeoff was 1/3 of the Grammy-nominated Migos. They're not just a music group, but a band of brothers whose love is as tightly intertwined as their lyrics.
They came out with a sound that a lot of other rappers emulated. They impacted the culture in many ways, whether it's sound, lyricism, and just put it on for Atlanta.
The vibe of their music is what kept...
Okay, listen. We are the only people who can sit and watch our icons be murdered, drugged through the mud. And still be having a political preference under white supremacy. Are you serious? When you don't even understand the culture that they have created is built on democracy. That's where the word Democrat come from. Look at the etymology origin of those words. Democracy, demonic, rule, because cracy means rule. They brought you over here and they taught you what they wanted to, and they wanted you to believe what they wanted to and what they wanted you to believe. And you hold on to it for dear life as they slaughter you. Because you don't believe in the devil. You don't believe it's wickedness out here, no matter what atrocity you see. They showed you a movie called Dahmer. They showed you that on Netflix, a series, Dahmer. And you still disbelieve in demonic rule. Well, we're going to say rest in peace to Takeoff, because a lot of people, they loved him. I'm going to show you some more because I want you to see what these people that knew him, I want you to see what they were saying about him. Like and share these videos. Like and subscribe.
The culture moving. The 28-year-old was considered the quiet, humble Migo who was kind and approachable.
It's a tough day in Atlanta to lose Takeoff. Like, such a good guy, such a humble spirit.
You feel like that's one of Atlanta's heroes, and it's just sad, man. It's just sad.
Fans can't make sense of his untimely death, but they say the highlights of his life gives them an element of peace.
The music's gonna live on forever, but it's just so sad his life was cut short.
I mean, Migos are Atlanta forever. His legacy, his music, everything is gonna be around for life. At least we have that.
We reached out to Takeoff's label and management for comment. We'll let you know when we hear back. In Atlanta, I'm Latasha Givens, 11 Alive News.
See how at the end, they reduced it to a business arrangement? We reached out to his label and his manager and the business execs, you know, in the business. The man just was killed. You didn't reach out to his family, his mother, a funeral parlor, a doctor. You reached out to the label and the managers. Y'all don't see it. And y'all mad at Kanye. You gotta be more vigilant. You better stay prayed up. You better stay prayed up. Put on your whole armor. Put on your whole armor. You know what I mean? Be vigilant, prayed up, and have on your whole armor. Because you fighting against principalities and wickedness in high places. Signing out Detroit. Keep your head on a swivel.